Okay, so in this video I will show you how to play seated guard. I feel like seated guard is one of the best positions in jiu-jitsu. I feel like most of the time people, when they're pulling guard, they're going on their backs and waiting for the guy to engage. I don't like that, so if you don't like that either, so it's better to play seated. And in seated guard you can always end up on the back whenever you want, and at the same time you can move to the guy, so you can be more aggressive, you can go for the legs, you can go for the single X guards, sweep the guy, go for the legs, and so on and so forth. So in this video I will show you how to engage the person when you're seated, what to do if the guy is pushing you away, what to do if he goes for the underhook, or how to take down the guy when you take the single leg. So today we'll do a dummy sweep. Okay, so dummy sweep is like basically I'm trying to approach the guy first, not letting the guy to approach me first. So what I'm doing, I'm just jumping and hooking his legs. And when I'm hooking, I'm just boom, pushing him forward, and I can climb up. Okay. Or I want to get a reaction. So basically, I jump, I push. When he steps backwards, I start going on the side, and then I going for the X guard. And again, you can do both things. You can do the X guard, go down, and you can do the single X, go down, and then go for the X guard. And of course, all the time, try to catch the other leg, just to have like an instinct to catch the other leg. Doesn't matter if you are in single X and catching or X guard and catching. Okay. So we'll play from the bottom today, and we'll start from the seated guard. Okay, so let's say the first reaction the guy is doing most of the time, he's going forward. Okay, now my goal is to never go back. If I go back, he will easily smash me and put me to the ground. Okay, so I always want to be like a wall, so I'm like hitting his knee with my chest, and if I need to, I can always like move backwards with my butt. Now the main idea is to put my shin to shin to be able to elevate him. And now, to elevate him, I want my butt to end up near my heel, right? So I go near my heel, I'll lift him up, and now from this point, I can always choose single leg, or I can always like choose X guard, okay? So after this, let's do like a couple of times, 2 or 3 minutes. And after this, I will show you how to take down the guy, okay? So let's say we're in this position. The guy is approaching me, and he's trying to smash me. Okay, so I always want to like go backwards with my butt. I can even use my right arm to post it on mat to not get that much pressure. And then I just back off, and then I put my shin to shin hook, okay? In this position, I'm having like my palm on his kneecap. I'm putting my elbow inside, my knees on the outside, okay? Now the main idea is to always go on my shoulder. On my shoulder, grab the other leg, then lift his leg up to go for the single legs. If I can, I always grab the other leg because it's very easy to take the guy down. If I can grab the other leg, most time I transition to X guard, where I have no gaps here to be able to control a bit more. Then it's much easier to like pull his leg closer to me and then grab it. With grabbed leg, when I can grab like both legs at the same time, it's much easier to lift the hips and just take the guy down, go up, put my knee between his legs, and then, for example, start passing here. So let's say we're trying to go for the single X, right? So we go here, we go for the single X. What I try to do, because I'm starting from this position, I'm always grabbing the other leg, okay? So I'm controlling both legs at the same time. I'm scooping under, I'm taking the single X, and I basically try to catch the other leg. If I have the other leg, it doesn't really matter if you're doing a great technique or not. The guy can't step backwards that easily, and I can easily take him down, okay? So I will go for the single X this time. I will have both legs, and then I will just try to like lift my hips, and I will rotate my body as hard as possible to the left side. Boom. And because I'm controlling his both legs, it works. If I don't control the other leg, most time the people will balance themselves. It will be very hard to do it, okay? So from this position, I can always go for the leg locks, or I can always like just stand up, and I can always move forward. If I move forward, I always want my knee to be inside. If my knee is down, he will pull me to the close guard. I will need to work again. So one more time. So let's say we're going for the same position, boom, and I go to the X guard. So from the X guard, the main idea is not to be like this because he can just defend. Yes, boom, or back step, for example, and that's it. So what I want to do, I always want to cover my both legs together, and I want to like push them upwards. Okay. Now again, the same idea. If I can grab the other leg, it's the easiest way to take the guy down. Okay. I'm just lifting the hips, and he is falling. And from here I can stand up, have my knee inside so he will not pull me into close guard, and everything is good from there, okay? But now let's say if his leg is far away and I can't pull him closer to me with my legs. So what I will do, I will change my arm From here is the same thing. I can grab the other leg if I can. If I can't, I would just push his knee, lift my legs, and then I would try to take him down to the left side. So I'm going boom, and then instantly going for the double unders. With double unders, I hug my arms together, palm to palm, putting my arms on one side, and then I can rotate to the other side, and then have the pass. Okay, so we will start playing from the single X and X guard. Okay, so the main and the first thing we will do is we'll take the guy down, and then we'll transition to the pass or leg attacks. Okay, so basically in this position, you always want to control one leg with your outside leg, and with the inside leg, you want to control the other leg. Okay, the knee goes to the heel all the time to control both legs at the same time. Now, the first option and the best one is always to grab the other leg. Okay, if you can grab the other leg, it will be always easy to like take down the guy. Now, when we take down the guy, I want to get up first, and then we transition to leg attacks or passes. Okay, so from here you can always like choose what you want to do. You can always like transition to passing, boom, do the knee slides, or you can transition to leg attacks. So I still get up, then I hold my weight on my right leg, I throw my left leg over, and we can fully go on our shoulder, on our head, and then we can transition to the leg attacks. We can stay with the leg placement like this, or we can throw our other leg here. It's not a big deal. Okay, one more time. So you go to single legs, I grab the other leg, and then I lift my hips, take the guy down, and I go up. I can transition to the knee slide, for example, or I can go for the leg attacks. So I stay here, I throw my left leg over, I go fully on my shoulder, on my head, and then I can start arch back and finish the leg. Okay, and we can do the same thing from X guard. Okay, so this was single X, and we can do the same thing from the X guard. So I go here, for example, I can't take down the guy from this position, or I can grab the other leg. I can always transition to X guard, then try to grab the other leg and do the same thing. Boom, take him down, and then I can go for the leg attacks, for example. For the moment, when I'm in single X, everything is good. When I start transitioning to X guard, he can just backstep. He can just backstep and he can start running away. Okay, so because of that, we always want to imbalance the guy. Okay, so here, if I feel that the guy holds my leg, I always want to imbalance him. We have two options to imbalance the guy. We can throw him to the left side. We can throw him upwards. Okay, let's say, of course, if we can take the other leg, we can do the takedown. But let's say this time he holds his leg so far away, I can try to imbalance him. Okay, so first option, I can always imbalance him there. Then he starts like wobbling, and then I can transition to X guard, for example, or I can transition upwards. So I can go boom here, and then I can transition to X guard. Okay, so you have like always two options. When to use which option? So if he stands straight, I would always go for the first option, like here. It's easier to imbalance him. If he holds my head, for example, then it's better to imbalance forward and then transition to X guard. Okay, so you're always working with the imbalance. If you are able to go to the X guard, you can always transition your arm for the inside, and then you can start like taking the guy down. When I take down the guy, I go up, and then from this time, I can do the same thing when we did before with the knee slides and leg attacks, but because I have the arms inside, I can always go for the double unders. I can always tag the guy, and I can always pass him like this. Okay, one more time. So you have two options to imbalance. Okay, so if the guy holds my legs, two options. In this case, because he's standing straight, I will imbalance him that way, sometimes even take him down, and then transition to X guard. If he holds my head, we can always like push the guy forward and then transition to the X guard. From here, again, I'll grab the other leg like we did before, or I can go inside if his leg is too far, okay? And then I lift, push his knee, and then I can go for the double unders. From double unders, I always put my weight on top of the guy. I go sideways, and with my shoulder, I push his legs away, and I get the side control, okay? One more time, the last one. So we are in this position, and the guy holds my legs. So I want to imbalance him. So I can go there, to the left side, I can go up, and then I'm transitioning to the X guard. From X guard, I always go inside, and then I can take the guy down. If I take the guy down, I go for the double unders, put the weight on top of him, and then with my shoulder, I'll push his legs away and get the pass. So from single X, we can transition with this arm inside the same way, okay? So for example, if he's holding my legs and I'm imbalancing him, and for some reason I can't really imbalance him properly, I will go for this position first, and then when I go for this position first, then I'm balancing him a bit, and I can transition to X guard, okay? And from this position, we can always like do the same sweep we did before, or let's say if the guy goes for with his arms on the ground, we have two options, okay? So first option, we can always like just go forward, go on our elbow, and just lift ourselves upwards, okay? So we are staying here in this position. I just push, go on my elbow, put my both legs on the ground, then I start like taking the guy down, okay? It's the same principle would be if the guy goes on his knee. So for example, if we are here, even without the transition, if the guy goes on his knee, we can do the same thing. I'm just pushing him and just lifting myself up. Okay, it's very simple. So for the top guy, he can't spend a lot of time on his knee. But let's say from this position, I can always like imbalance the guy, go for the X guard, then transition to the inside position. And from here, if his arms are on the ground, I can always like push forward and lift up, or I can throw his leg over and then grab his ankles. When I grab his ankles, I always want to push forward, sit up, grab his waist, and then go for the turtle, okay? One more time. So let's say we are in this position. If the guy goes on his knee, we can always like just push with our both legs, go on our elbow, and go forward. I'm not letting go of his leg because I can stand up and I can do the same thing again. Leg attacks or passes. And the other option, let's say if we go to the X guard, we transition to the inside position. And if the guy puts his arms on the ground because he was imbalanced or something, I can always lift myself up, or I can throw his leg over and go for his ankles. When I go for his ankles, I lift my butt, push him forward, grab the hip, and then I can transition to the seat belt and the turtle. Okay? So one more time. So let's say the guy is approaching me very heavily with the knee. I'm already late. I can lift him up, then I can throw my legs up. From this position, I can always go for the single leg or the shin-to-shin. So when I want to go for the single leg, it depends how his further leg is reacting, okay? So if I can go forward and he's jumping on his left leg, for example, yeah, he's jumping, then that means that his legs are very light, okay? But if I go forward and the leg is not moving, I will always go back, go again shin to shin, and then I can lift his leg up again and do the same position as it worked previously, okay? And that's it. So let's say I jump, I try to do the dummy sweep, right? So I jump, I push him or go for both legs, and the guy goes for the underhook. If I go for the X guard, he will just go lower, he will deepen his underhook, and I will get smashed. So when I see that he has the underhook, boom, I just start like going for the arm jerks. So I go here, boom. So I go with my right arm on his armpit. My left arm can push his bending area, the elbow, or the wrist, depending how he holds. Here I felt like Mantas was holding like quite strong, so I'm pushing the bending area, and then boom, trying to turn him, like to pull him towards me. And then by not releasing this arm that is on the armpit, I want to like throw myself up and then go for the turtle, okay? One more time. So let's say from this position, so I jump, I go for the legs, I try to do like the dummy sweep, or I try to go for the single legs. If I feel that he has the underhook, I want to immediately try to boom, go back, and then go for his arm, right? So my right arm goes on his armpit, my left arm goes on his bending area. Now, my right leg goes on his leg like this, and left leg goes on the outside. And now I'm just pushing and pulling at the same time. Up. When I pull, I can throw myself up, and I'm not releasing this grip that is on the armpit, okay? And then I get the turtle. When I get the turtle, I can always like cross my legs, and now it will be harder for the guy to escape, okay? So one more time. So let's say I always want to attack, okay? So I always want to like jump, do the dummy sweep, or go for the X guards. If he goes for the underhooks, I can always try to like counter, go for the arm drags. And then one last option, what can happen, sometimes when I'm approaching him or trying to jump, he's posting on my shoulders. It could be like both shoulders, doesn't matter, yeah? And one arm is always like backwards, so I could just keep my balance up. And then I start like climbing up and then pushing his arm away. When I push his arm upwards, I'm grabbing his kneecap with my other arm, and then I go for the single leg, okay? From this position, I will always go for the single leg in the standing position, or if the guy starts smashing me, I can always like go for the X guard and attack the bottom position, okay? One more time. So let's say I'm in this position, he's pushing, I'm pushing his arm and grabbing his kneecap, rotating on his leg, going for the single leg. So one more time. So let's say if the guy is pushing my shoulder, I will always boom, push his arm upwards with my left arm, and with my right arm I will take his kneecap, and then I will go for the single leg, for example. And if the person is lifting my legs, sometimes if I'm laying like this, I will put my both arms behind, and then I will start like jumping and putting my legs on the outside. And then again, I can jump, do the dummy sweep, or transition to the same moves we did before. Okay? That's it. Do this. Good job.